coming for the win. No foul coming through. We got one, let's make it two. I play that game with a burning love. This is the way going back to back. Champions, we will win. No foul, we reckon see. Y'all can't even see me.
Since I was born, my sisters, I've got 4 sisters, and they all cheered. And my older sister used to throw me around from the time I was really little. So really, since I could walk, I've been in cheerleading, but I've been on an organized team since 6th grade, and then cheered all since 6th grade on every type of cheerleading you could be in.
When I was like 3 with like little cheerleading stuff, and then I got really into it around like 8. I started competitive cheerleading. And then all through middle school and all through high school and then all through college. I was a dancer for 10 years as well.
15 years. I tried other stuff, but I was really bad at them, so I went back to cheerleading.
4 years. I did gymnastics for about 10, 12 years. I broke my wrist, so I kind of just gave up on gymnastics. So I went to cheerleading because I could still tumble.
I started cheering when I was a sophomore in high school.
Not that long?
Nope, maybe, yeah, about going on 5 years now. I was a basketball player for 9 years, basically all the way up until I decided I wanted to cheer instead. I switched schools in the middle of high school, and I kind of wanted to be noticed more. I didn't want to just go through high school not really knowing anyone, and with cheer you go to everything, and you're everywhere all the time.
I've been cheering for 5 years now. This is my 6th year, and I've done it 4 years in college, 4.5 years in college. At the college level, I have done track and field and volleyball. I've always been driven by others' need for me to work hard.
It's been about 2 years. I came in last fall of last year and just started. I played baseball for about 15 years, and then I got a huge injury, so I had to stop, and then through high school I played football.
I did t-ball and stuff like that. I was actually going to do softball. I was a tomboy growing up. I wanted to do wrestling and football, but all the coaches turned me down, and I loved football, so I decided just to go into cheerleading so I could be close to the sport I loved the most.
Everyone has a unique story on how they got to Valley, and their cheerleading team is no different.
It was a really fun turn of events that got me here. I finished up my 4 years at UMKC. I was done cheering in college, and I was like, well, what am I going to do now? At the time, I was the head coach of a high school program and also the head coach of 2 all-star teams. And I was like, well, what about college cheer? You know, that's really where my passion is. So I was talking to one of my friends, and she said, well, I go to Missouri Valley, and we are looking for a coach. And I thought, oh my gosh, what a wonderful opportunity. So I immediately emailed Tom Pfeiffer, asked him if he was still looking for a coach, and he got me in touch with Marsha Lashley, who at the time was in charge of hiring this position. And we met for lunch, and I've been here ever since.
Well, I got recruited by my best friend. We were at our high school semifinals football game, whatever it was an away game. But we were there, and apparently they were missing small girls on the team that they could toss in the air. Here I am. So she texted coach right in front of me and said they could offer me a scholarship. And about 2 weeks later, I was here.
Coach. I work with NCA, and I had a camp with her, my very last camp, and she recruited me to come, and so I came and I loved it. So my first semester I went to Longview, so there was no cheerleading, just community college, and I hated it. So then I transferred here at semester of my first year.
The coach, I met her actually when I was 15 years old. She was my coach in high school. So when I went off and I went to Northwest and another school, she actually got a hold of me and said, hey, do you want to come cheer again? And she gave me the opportunity to come here. So I said yes.
In all honesty, I had a friend that came here for volleyball, and we played on the same team before I was cheerleading in high school. And so I looked at the school. I was like, maybe I'll come back to it if that's what I feel like I need to do. My first year here, I I was not a humble person, and I'll be completely honest with you. I thought I could do bigger and better things. I thought there was a world out there I wanted to see, and I didn't deserve this small school. Fall of 2011, I went to Boise State University, and I left Moval under the pretenses that I wanted bigger and better things. When I got there, I found out I was a small fish in a huge pond. So when I came back here, I found myself humbled by the experience of Boise. And because when I found myself humbled, I took better to everybody, and everybody took better to me.
They offered me a football scholarship. How many years did you play football? I played a semester, and then I broke my foot, so they just took me off the team because I wasn't an asset anymore. And then Cheer picked me up.
I had a friend that passed away. He was going to come here to play football. He had a full ride, and he died in his senior year. And when I was getting out of the Marines, we had to take classes, and we got to actually enroll and pick a school. And I saw his name, and I had my mom, because I didn't have access to internet up there. So I had my mom check it out, and me and my mom have kind of the same taste. And she said that she thought it'd be a good fit.
Why did I come to Valley? Every time I moved from Marshall, it broke my heart because this is my hometown. This is what I know. My family's here. I just take pride in this town, and I know a lot of people don't like it, but I do. I absolutely take pride in Marshall.
I was actually already signed to a school in Indiana, and then I was on their cheer team as well, and I had a roommate and everything, and I was going with, my older cousin went there, and I was going with him. And then I worked for NCA, which is where I met Coach, and she convinced me in a day to move here, and I called my mom that night and I told her that I wanted to move to Missouri, and we visited like a week after that, and there was nobody on campus to show me around. None of the buildings were open, nothing was open. And I think there was one person who just like walked me around, and I didn't get to see inside anything. And on the way home, my mom asked me if I wanted to go here, and I said yes. And then I moved here like a week and a half later.
I didn't know her at all, and I could tell right away that she had that personality and that drive as an athlete and as a staffer for NCA. And I was like, I gotta have this girl. She's awesome. I talked to her a lot about how when you move away from your home, you grow up a little bit more. I talked to her a lot about how we work on time management, people skills, those kinds of things. But I don't know maybe what the single thing was that got her to convince her to come, but I just talked to her a lot about what I could offer her as a coach, and I hope that I followed through with that.
Yeah, she's kept her word. Yeah, she's pretty good at that. She was just really genuine about making me like a better cheerleader and a better person, and like the way that she talked about the team and how invested she was in it really made me want to go to it. And her saying that we were going to compete and stuff, because the college I was going to go to in cheer, it was just strictly games. And so I think that the competition side of it, I was really excited about, because I've always been a competitive cheerleader.
There's just not a whole lot of outside time for them. They are with each other at practice. Most of them live together. They eat their meals together. They travel together. I mean, they do everything together. So they really are like a family. And just like a family, there's always those rough days or those little spats, but it's overcoming those things and working together that makes this team a family. And I think the major thing that stands out about them being quote unquote a family is their attitudes and demeanor towards other teams. You know, I'm very strict on them about sportsmanship and treating other people with respect and each other on the mat with respect. And I think that's really what stands out. Every time anybody works with my team, they always talk about how respectful they are and how polite they are. And I think that environment, being respectful and polite, makes them get along better. And we also talk a lot about how much each person on the team means to the team, whether they are the most talented tumbler, or the most talented top girl or base. You know, every person brings a dynamic to the team, and that's important regardless of which individual. You have to have all those pieces, because if we were all good in one area, then they wouldn't be the team they are. We have to have those strengths and weaknesses, if you would, to make the team. And I think realizing that each one of them brings something to the team, that's what creates that camaraderie.
I think it's really unique how close we are. I think a lot of teams say that they have the family dynamic, but our team is legitimately like really, really close, and we genuinely care about each other. And we have the whole like, you know, in your regular family, like you're not always going to get along with your siblings or always going to get along with your cousins, and we have that stuff, and it just makes us closer. But other teams have like the certain people or their family members, but it's like all of us are all in it all together all the time, and it's been like that every year that I've been on the team.
It's awesome to have the type of family that we do, because a lot of people are either they're farther away, so it's hard for them. Like me, I've come from a really large family, so moving far away from my family was really hard for me. So having the family here was really helpful to keep me grounded and centered and focused on what I needed to do.
This family is like my second family. We've had our ups and downs, but every family does. Like, I'm close to almost everyone on this team. I mean, people I'm not close to, I still consider my family, and you can always go to any of them for anything, which is really awesome. I've never been on a team like that.
I actually left for a semester, and even when I leave, they still talk to me. They still see how I'm doing. They're the reason I had somewhere to live again when I came back for a second time. They will do anything for you. And even the ones that you're not necessarily best friends with on the team, they're still there for you. No matter what, if you need a ride somewhere, if they need to borrow your car, if your boyfriend broke up with you, you know, even if you're not the closest, they still take care of you if you need them.
On a team like this, where you literally have to rely on everybody, you have to set aside your pride, because if as soon as you think you're the bomb.com, something's going to happen where you're just torn down.
For the past couple of weeks, we've become a better family. At the beginning, we were a family, but we had some loose ends, and we got rid of them, and now we're closer family. I feel like we're even closer than almost last year.
It seems like everybody has each other's backs. Like, we're not going to leave each other behind. I've gotten close to everyone. I know everyone on the team, and that's what family's all about.
This team is everything to me.
We hang out a lot more. We have a lot more practices, a lot more socialing, and we just hang out all the time, and I feel like that's what helps us become a team.
Well, like any other sports, they have their little cliques, they have their like people that they like, and this team, everybody's just family. Everybody hangs out with each other. We get to know each other a lot. It's actually pretty similar. The Marines, we're always together. We're not just in our groups. We're working together all the time, and we practice all the time. So we're always together. We're always learning something new about each other, and that was just like being in the Marines.
I would like to say that that's an influence I bring to this team. That's always been, I grew up in a family of 5 girls, and my parents were always really big on us about, you know, blood's thicker than water and being there for your family and treating others with respect. And so I think that that's something that I culminate here. And I think that every single year I've been here, the program's been like a family.
I think some of it's natural, but I think most of it is her teaching us that we have to care about the other person to make things work. Because since it's such a group sport, and like whenever we lose one person, as you've seen, and our routine has to change a million times, if you lose one person, it changes everything. Like it could change you a space over, it could change completely different. So I think that her like making us realize that it takes everybody to do it together is what really makes us care about each other. And you can't throw a team with one person. So you can't just be all about yourself or all about 2 other people. You have to be all about everybody to win and do things right, obviously.
Because people's family are hours and hours away, they don't get to see them. They have to find a way to feel that closeness with someone, and this team does that.
Last year, I think we were closer, but maybe that's because we were there during spring break and we were that national champion team. And this year, I think we're still working there. I think during spring break was when we'll really bond, and it'll hit that we have like only 3 more weeks till nationals.
I don't know. Honestly, I couldn't tell you what makes us a family, but it is. It's what we are, because we love each other like a family and we hate each other like a family.
Injuries are part of every sport, and Morgan McCurry has dealt with more than one could imagine during her days as a cheerleader.
I've had back surgery. I've had knee surgery. I've sprained my ankle a couple times. I've had 2 stress fractures in my right foot, and then I recently just had the stress fracture in my shin and then re-sprained my right ankle. I sprained my ankle a couple times whenever I was in like middle school and high school, younger, but I broke my back once in high school in a car accident, and that's what started it all. But I had back surgery my freshman year here, and then I had knee surgery last summer, and then all the rest of the injuries throughout the years in between. I don't ever really stop when I have an injury, so I don't feel like I miss out a lot. I just keep going. I just love it. I can't stop. After I had back surgery, I told myself that I was gonna stop, you know, because I don't think it's very healthy to keep doing it. I couldn't stop, and then last year I said the same thing, and I can't stop.
She does not stop. She refuses, and that's what makes her so good, is she's gonna do it over and over and over again until she gets it right. And it's, as a coach, you wanna even encourage that, and you want to push her because you know that she wants to be pushed, and that creates a really good coach-athlete relationship, because I know that we're on the same path and that she's not just here to hold a spot. She's here to make a difference, and she has in this program.
She is by far the most driven cheerleader I've ever seen come through this place. I'm trying to think of one that tops it. But she's by far, she's my inspiration. No matter what happens, she's always coming into practice, working as hard as she can, putting her sweat in, and even though she's maybe having a bad day and not have a smile on her face, you always want to go and help her.
If you could embody an athlete that you want to coach, it would be Morgan. I get goosebumps just thinking about her. She is that athlete that every coach wished they could have 100 of. I've seen her get completely knocked out, like just pulverized in a pyramid or a stunt, and stand back up and say, let's do it again. You can't teach that drive. You can't harvest that and put it into someone. You can only be blessed to be around it. And I wish that every athlete in the world in any sport could experience Morgan, because that's the type of drive that every athlete should have.
During the dance, when our pyramid hit, that's when I pretty much thought we won. Or whenever our pyramid, our rewind almost fell. And once we got back up, I was like, yep, we got it.
Definitely after prelims, when we went back and I can't remember if we practiced that night or not, but when we went back and we practiced and reworked it, and just the way people were acting, like everyone was excited to go back out there. Everyone, you know, wanted to go back and do a routine a million times better. And when your team goes out there and they're excited to do what they have to do, then you know it's going to be good. And I think after the dance, when we all sat up, because at the end of the dance, all the girls were on the ground, right when we hit that last pose and everything had hit, I personally had the feeling, I was like, oh my God, we just did it. Like, we just won.
After we hit the routine, I got up and I just screamed. I was elated.
When they hit all their pyramids, I knew that we won, because we haven't been able to hit our pyramids last year consistently. As soon as they hit that, we knew they could kill it.
I knew we did really well after our performance, as if you've watched it, you can see my reaction after we get done. But I mean, watching everybody else, I was starting to get the feeling like, okay, we're gonna be like top 3 for sure. Like, I think we knew that after we competed the second day that it was gonna be a close thing, but I didn't know that we had actually won until they said the second place person.
Never. You never think you can win. I mean, even the most talented programs, you can be so clean and so prepared, and something can go wrong. You never know. Even down to when there were the last 2 teams sitting on the mat and they were about to announce it, I wasn't sure. And you just never know. I was never like, oh yeah, we're gonna win, or we might have a shot. I mean, I always believe in my kids that they can. I think, you know, that they were up there. I knew they'd be top 3, but to win it's always a shock, and it's always such a blessing.
I think it's because of the family. We're all so close, and we all wanted it so bad that it's what we, like when people say they eat, sleep, and breathe it, that's literally what we did. Like, from the sun comes up until we were in bed, it was like, can you help me to make my routine better? Can you do this? Can you help me to get my skills? It was just like all the time, and we all wanted it so bad.
Before we even got to Daytona, she told us that afterwards we all were required to write a letter to the team of what it meant to them, what it what it truly meant to them. After that first day, I could not sleep. So I wrote mine that night. I give it to coach the next morning because I told her, hang on to this, I'll lose it. And I feel like it was heartfelt. Right before we get on to the finals mat, we're all freaking out because our pyramid didn't hit yesterday. We sucked. We were tragic tigers. You know what I mean? All the girls are head cases. All of them. All of them. And I was freaking out too, I'll be honest. I was a mess. She had me read the letter to the team. I just read it heartfelt as the emphasis where I needed it. And I could just see the fire just automatically flip from freaking out to this is gonna hit. And if you see it, everybody just turned on to this, we're one, we are one. She absolutely knew what the team needed. And what they needed to hear is that through blood, sweat, and tears, they have made it to Daytona and they have to take the chance to win it. And by doing that, they have to push through the next 2.5 minutes. 2.5 minutes, I think at the end of it, I put 2.5 minutes to show what you're made of. 2.5 minutes to last forever.
Yes. Yeah. He was just, I don't exactly remember everything that he said in it, but it was really emotional and inspiring just because he's like one of the older people, kind of like me, and so and he brings a lot of the family feel to it, so it was really motivational to hear it and emotional just because we all wanted it so bad. She talked to us a little bit, but his speech right before then was just like the pow of like, go and do it, you know.
The Missouri Valley College Cheerleading team won the national championship in 1999. After that national championship, the team went through some tough years until Kristen Lyman showed up and turned the program around. Kristen won conference her first year and every year since, making 4 straight conference titles. She's also had success on the national stage. In 2011, her team finished 3rd in small co-ed. 2012, her team was national runners-up. And in 2013, she took her team to the very top, winning the national championship for the NCAA NAI small co-ed division.
From Marshall, Missouri, that was Missouri Valley College. And our national champions with a final score of 84.13. Let's hear it for Missouri Valley College. Once again, congratulations to our NAIA Small Co-ed National Champions, Missouri Valley College.
The national championship. You talk about moments that are just speechless or where you just don't have any words to describe them. When they announced that second place and they said Missouri Valley for first, it's so surreal. You just can't even begin to imagine the emotion. But what it meant to me was finally some recognition of all the hard work and time and dedication my program puts in. They're here 6-7 days a week on average. You know, they're doing all those things I talked about with the community involvements and all of the games, men and women's, rain or shine, football, snowing or raining, it doesn't matter. They're out there, and then they also have to come back here and prepare for competition. So winning that banner and winning that title really kind of said, hey, you know, you guys did it, and now everybody else knows that you can do it too.
The best feeling I've ever had. And just sitting there with them standing in front of, like, because we can't cheer until they say our name. So like the feeling of them standing in front of us with that trophy was surreal. It was almost like I blacked out like for like the hour after we won. It was crazy.
Well then, 15 years well spent. After 15 years of doing this over and over, finally getting recognition for it was fantastic. After all of the years competing and I've only ever gotten second, finally winning, that was fantastic.
It was awesome. I don't know. I don't know how to describe it. I can like still see the picture of us sitting there and that girl, you know? Yeah, it was awesome.
It was something I've always wanted to cross off my bucket list because my high school never got to go. And so just going itself was an awesome opportunity, but then the fact that we won made it even better. So I can say, hey, I won nationals as a cheerleader.
Surreal. It was surreal. It was a long shot going into the semester because it's not that we had lacking skills, it was we had lacking experience.
I'm not even sure that it has really sank in. It was kind of one of those experiences where when it first happened, I was so focused on trying to keep myself together mentally, you know, to get my team rounded up and pick up the trophy and get us off the floor. And then it was kind of over the next 2 or 3 weeks, every time someone would say, you know, oh, congratulations, you know, and I'd be like, oh my gosh, we did win. And just letting that sink in. So really it was just this wonderful over and over again realization each time someone would bring it up, and then remembering that. And then, you know, even I think it was like 6 or 7 months later that we got our rings, and seeing the ring for the first time, and then getting the banners put up. So it was like, it really is still just, it's still even to this day an amazing feeling every time someone recognizes the accomplishment.
I think on the bus ride home is when it really sank in, because we had left the environment, and like us seeing the trophy like going home with us was the real fact of like, that's us, that we did that. So seeing it go home with us and not just carrying it around was more surreal.
I don't know, honestly. I don't know if it has or if it will. It's every time anything is referenced to it, I'm just like, oh, I'm a national champion. That's freaking cool. The giant trophy or the pictures, or I look over on my desk and I see my ring and I'm like, this is weird. Because it's not something I would have ever pictured for myself.
I probably got back to school and we had our jackets and we could say we're national champions, I guess. It's just strange to say you're a national champion. I don't know if it'll ever sink in. Maybe this year, whenever we're there, it might sink in that we're national champions, that we have to hold that title. But other than that, it's kind of weird.
Yes and no. I forget sometimes, and then I walk into the gym and I see the banner hanging there and I'm like, oh my gosh, like I helped make that happen. Maybe once we got back to Valley and people were there and they were excited for us, and I started hearing about it from teachers, people who are my bosses. They say, oh my gosh, congratulations. I'm like, oh my God, I won. Like, I really did win. So once other people started recognizing it, it kind of sunk in like, wow, we actually did it.
It really didn't sink in until the ride home, to be honest, because just staring at that thing for about 23 hours, and it just sunk in like, wow, we actually accomplished what we went there to do. It felt amazing.
Definitely sunk in now. I think if you watch the video of when they call their name, we hugs and hugs and hugs, whatever. I laid down on the mat and just went plop. And I just laid there for a half a second. I mean, I was literally only there for maybe 2 seconds. And I breathed and I just looked up at the ceiling, and I was in awe. And I just tried to think back on the story of our season. I mean, through blood, sweat, and tears, this team finally got what it deserved. This coach, this team, this family got what it needed.
The picture of Vashti and I hugging the trophy together, it was just like, because Vashti was one of my, I mean, we're still really, really close, but she was probably like one of my like staple people on the team, and it was just so emotional being able to go through that with her, because she was there like through all of my back surgeries and all of my knee surgeries and like all of that, and like all the hardships we've had of being torn down and put back together. It was just like, just being able to have the trophy between us and like being best friends it makes me feel like I'm gonna cry right now. I just like, I can't even explain it. It was the most amazing feeling ever. And it was just like, we wanted to hold on to it so tight, like not let it go, because it was unbelievable to win it.
Nope, I don't. Not at all. Holy cow. This can't be freaking happening. It was surreal. I just started crying and crying and crying and crying.
Jamie Stevens and DJ Ross made history, becoming the first 2 Viking cheerleaders to win All-American.
That was kind of cool. I wasn't planning on trying out until Coach, like, I guess encouraged me to try out, so I had nothing to lose by it. So yeah, it was a good experience.
I actually sent them a text message and said, hey, you guys should really look into this. You've got the skills. I know you could do it. And they did. I mean, they didn't get to prepare really at all, and they walked out there and hit those skills their first try, and I think that's just a testament to how talented they are. And
because of bus problems, Stevens and Ross were unable to see what other All-American hopefuls brought to the table.
I mean, I would like to see like how they did, just compare, but I guess it's probably a good thing that I didn't, because then I probably would have psyched myself out, because seeing all those people from like Oklahoma City doing all their amazing stuff, it probably would have psyched me out.
I knew they had it. I had no doubts. Like as soon as they started announcing All-Americans, I knew my 2 kids had made it, and that they were going to be up there. Absolutely. I think they hands down have the skills. It's just, again, the confidence. Can they believe that they can do it? I have no doubts. I know they can do this. I know that they are right up there in the top with all of their skills. It's, can they go out there and believe in themselves? This is the most talented team I've had since they've been here. They are in the highest range on every skill.
Yeah, I think so. I think we have enough talent, and I think that we're starting to, we usually get the like really like hardcore family feeling close around spring break, like in March, and I can feel it starting to come on. Like everybody's really pushing for nationals and is getting in the mindset of what we have to do to win.
It will be very difficult now with a team that works hard together and moves in one direction, one goal, one mindset, one team. Yes, absolutely. Hands down.
Yes.
Why?
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 Because we're a family. That's the main reason. If you have teams that don't care about each other, they're not going to work as well together. Yeah, they can have all the skill in the world. If you're a family, you'll pull it together and you will make that mat yours.
Yes, I think we can. We definitely have the skill, way more than we did last year, to win it and take it home again. It's just everyone being on the same page that we need to get to.
It's going to be harder, but definitely yes.
Why?
Why? These girls are some of the most talented girls I've ever seen, and it's amazing, especially with the coach. She can take someone who may only have some tumbling and she can turn them into, I don't know how to explain it, just the way she coaches. She takes you from the most basic cheerleaders to doing some of the most advanced things they probably never thought they could do in their life. And I'm one of them. Just being with her, you know, it'll be a total of a year this year. I'm already so much better than I ever was. And these girls are just, they're really good.
Oh, we definitely have the ability to win it all again. As long as we have our minds right and our heads right in the same place, we can win this all again, even better.
I believe so. We're starting to come together a lot more. We're starting to click. We're learning everything about each other now, and I think the routine is a little bit harder than what I saw from last year, but based on our talent, I believe we can.
Oh yes, I do. I have no doubts that we can't. We have better skills this year. From what I saw last year, all we need to do is clean it up and we'll be amazing. We have the skills.
Shocked. When I walked in and I didn't have really anything when I got here, I thought, just focus on rebuilding the sideline team, Kristen. You can move into competition season when they're ready. But what I wasn't expecting was all this heart and drive from the Missouri Valley athletes, and these kids from Missouri and the surrounding areas that come in here. And after that first year, we won conference the first time in a decade, and then we did it the next 3 years in a row. And so, for 3 years running, and then at our success, our first year, even third in large co-ed was just awesome. So I was shocked that it didn't take very long, but the athletes are really the reason. They have some amazing heart.
Yeah, I was really surprised. That's why winning last year was so surprising. Like, I knew that we had the talent and that we could do it, but it was really surprising going from, because her first year they got third, and then my first year we got second, and then last year we obviously won, but it was a really quick turnaround because most teams are in that like stagnant rebuilding phase is what a lot of cheer teams go through, where like a lot of the good people leave at the same time, so then you have to recruit all the new people and it's like a building process. So, but I mean, we went through that for a couple of years, but then it was just like it all came together. And
honestly, no, because of her. She's phenomenal. It's her.
I'm not surprised at all. She came in with a new philosophy, a new mindset. I don't know if you know this, but her first year, no one took to her too well because she's just so different than what they were used to. But I think she honestly cares about her athletes beyond something that I've ever seen someone before, especially from a coaching standpoint. So I think it shows in how her team responds to her. She deserves the credit for all the wins that this team has had.
No, it doesn't really surprise me that it took 3 years. She's driven. She was after the right types of kids, you know, to accomplish that goal, and she was able to get it done.
She is the reason this program is good. Yes, we have talented people. It would not be the same without her.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Without a doubt. With or without me, this team will survive. With or without Morgan, this team will survive. Without Kristen, this team would crumble. And it has.
Yes, I do. She just brings a positive attitude to the team. When something's not hitting normally, and then she's there to give us confidence, she's there, she tells us we could do it, and then we just hit it like that. She just brings like a confidence to the table that no other coach can.
I think, yes. You know, if you just want a blanket answer, yes. You know, leadership is important. It's vital. You can have great athletes and no leadership, and they'll just run around, you know, and score a few points. You can have average athletes and great leadership, and you win titles. When you have great athletes or really talented people, and you have leadership, you win national championships.
Yes, because her attitude and the motivation she brings to the team, I don't think anyone can replace that. Not even the best coaches in the world. She has a certain quality to her that gets the best out of her athletes. Drive and being able to believe in ourselves. Not many people can do that on their own, and not many people can get you to do that, and she does.
it wouldn't even be close to the same at all. I just think she's really, like I talked about on Sunday, I just think she's really good at like knowing how each athlete is individually. And most coaches that I know think of everyone as like just a unit, and she sees us individually. So I think she's really good at like retaining the people that she does and turning us into our like better than we could be. So I just don't think that it would be the same. I don't think anyone cares as much as she cares about us and about us as a team together. So, and I think plenty of people would have given up on us by now because we've had plenty of times where we were a little bit sketchy.
My biggest hero outside of my family is my coach, Kristen Lyman. I have never met anyone that can make me so frustrated and turn around and make me feel accomplished at the same time. She is amazing in the way she handles every situation in a different way, as well as how she handles people differently. She makes me want to be a better person with my communication style with others, and be a better person all around as well. Even though she will not coach me in cheer forever, I know I have someone to look for future trials and tribulations. She's already changed my life in so many ways, from love to layouts and everything in between. She inspires and encourages me in ways that words cannot explain.
When Coach K is gone, this program will never be the same. She is our spirit. I don't know if I'll have the drive I do now, but I do know I'll try and fight to keep my drive.
I would definitely say it's a combination of my own and NCA. I didn't really have really strict coaches when I was in, well, a little bit at Avila, but at UMKC, since we had that sideline, there was no need for that. But NCA, I work for a company called National Cheerleaders Association. They teach us a lot about how to speak, what to say, all of that, you know, body language, mannerisms, facial expressions. So I took all that to heart, and then I have to give credit to my family, especially my sister Shelby. She did so much for me as I was growing up, and all my sisters and family really helping me learn. And in my professional career here, my father's been a wonderful sounding board, and he helps me more with the management of the people and how to deal with issues. And so I definitely would say it's my experiences, but my support system that create who I am as a coach.
I think she's a little, if you want to call it, a little old school. You know, she's demanding. She's you know, she's technical. She wants to, you know, when she tells you once, she wants you to understand what she's talking about and go get it done. She doesn't want to tell you a half dozen times, like most coaches. But she's, I think she's caring of her team. She's fierce. She's like a mother bear to her team. I mean, you know, she's fierce when it comes to defending them. She's also, you know, I think she doesn't hesitate to, you know, to criticize and get on the athletes when they're not doing what she wants them to do. But she's also, I see that other side of her too, where she comes in and, you know, tells them great job and gives them the hug and pat on the back type of a deal. So, you know, I think there's a lot of throwback to her, but she's very demanding. And I think to some that sometimes they think they get confused. They think that she may not care about them, when it's quite the opposite. She cares deeply about her program.
Do I want to coach? Yes. Very badly. Pretty close to it, yes. It'll be a little different because I'll be in high school. Okay. I'll be in a high school or a middle school, so I can't use all of the same techniques, but generally.
Yes, I do. Definitely. I want to coach a high school or a competitive team, but that's definitely something I'm looking into after finishing school, is being a coach. I'm probably going to use a lot of her style because I think it's really, really effective. And I've been made a better all-around person, not just a cheerleader, from her coaching. So I'm going to try and use as much of her style as I can.
I think it's great to give the kids an opportunity to experience other coaching styles as well as other resources that I have available to me. So I've got a lot of friends that are cheerleaders, have been at different universities, or seen different styles of stunting or ideas for pyramids. So a lot of the people that I bring in, it's just to kind of show them that, like, give them an opportunity to hear it from someone else, and kind of show the team that there's other things out there that we can bring in and use as a resource here. So if you're a cheerleader at Missouri Valley, you also get to work with people from LSU and Louisville and Kentucky, and they kind of get that big feeling and know that they're important as well. So just another set of eyes as a coach as well, just to have them come in and kind of look at the routine with a fresh set of eyes. You know, I've seen it over and over, and get to have that new perspective, and it's good for me as a coach as well.
It's refreshing to see a new face, like, and she'll tell you the same thing, like, she's always coaching at us, you know, she's always telling us what to do and blah, 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 and sometimes it's like, sometimes people work differently if someone new comes in. It's like, oh, let me show them what I can do, because coach knows what I can do, you know. So I think some people get in that stagnant, like, okay, coach, okay, coach, okay, coach. And then, like, to see someone new come in, you're like, oh, all right. And it's also like, they have different ideas. So all the ideas that coaches ran through her head a million times, they might have one little different thing that'll change it completely, that she just hasn't gone through her thought process yet. So it's just always good to see a new face, and I'm sure it's good for her too to just take a couple days off of, you know, trying to get our lives together and have somebody else do it. I think it helps her, like, stress relief a little bit, and that gives her an opportunity to sit back and watch it instead of being in it, because usually when she sits back and watches it, she sees how to fix things, or sees things that she hasn't seen before of what to do. So then she can sit back and she's like, oh, I didn't even notice that was going wrong, and then she can fix it, and it changes completely.
It's always nice having someone else come in, because coach always says, like, oh, I can say it, and you guys will say okay, but someone else doesn't, and you're like, yes, sir. It's always, like, today we have Drew coming in. It's just always nice having a second opinion, and especially someone who's won so many national championships, someone like him to come in and help us. Especially, like, his attitude too, and, like, how he tried to push us, because I don't know if you saw his necklace, but he's obviously won quite a few national championships too. Just that you have to work hard if you want it.
We learned like a really cool stunt sequence and how to, I guess, better technique on our skills to make them hit more consistent. Like my full-ups, he taught me to use my hips. I know Coach told me that a million times, but I did it and it was consistent. And he taught us some really cool pyramids that we could use.
Work hard, stay humble. I think it's really important after you've won a national title to remember that you're not just going to win again. And it got to a point where I started hearing my teams say, well, we've got a ring and we're national champions, and I just keep saying, that was last year, guys. This is a whole new team. It's a whole new year. You've got a whole new group of competitors. You can't walk around and say, we're national champs, we've got a ring, and just expect to win again. It's that attitude that'll very quickly move you to the bottom. So I put that on their shirts to remind them, you know, when they're walking around practice and they're looking at the back of that shirt, work hard, stay humble. If you want to get to the top again, you're going to have to work hard, and you've got to keep your ego in check, because there's somebody that'll walk in and take it away.
Whenever we got back, a lot of our cheerleaders were walking around campus like they were kings of the world and rubbing it in everybody's faces that we were the national champions, which kind of goes against the whole family vibe that we got going on. So Kristen and I found that quote and we put it on the back of a shirt. That way they could live it instead of walking around acting like they're the greatest things on earth.
It's just that we need, like, winning the championship was awesome, but that doesn't mean that you automatically get it next year. There's teams, I mean, I'm sure you've heard her talk about, there's teams out for us. There's teams coming for us this year. There's teams who, their goal is to beat us. So I think the saying is just to keep in mind that we need to work just as hard, if not 10 times harder, and make sure that we know we won, but not to let everybody know that we won, because the teams who let it get to their head are the teams that don't have a repeat.
It's basically what it says. You work hard, but you stay humble. You're not rude about it. You don't think you're better than everyone, because when you get cocky, that's when things go bad.
We work hard so much, and then the humble part is we know we're national champions, but we don't go around saying, oh yeah, we're national champions. We don't need to practice. We practice every day. If it's not on the mat, we're in the weight room. If it's not in the mat or weight room, we're studying in study hall for 2 hours for 2 days. So we study hard, we work hard, and we practice hard. Even though we stay humble, we still in our minds we know we won, but we don't need to tell everyone.
I think it's something that we try to live by as Vikings. Ever since day one, when I say she, Kristen Lyman came in, and she pushed everybody to almost to their breaking point. You know, she pushed everybody so hard that they pushed back.
To me, it means in order to get to #1 and be the best you can, you have to fight for anything that you can.
Well, on the team, I think it means that even though we won, doesn't mean we can win again. So we need to stay humble, so we continue to work hard to win another one.
Yeah, every quote that she has a meaning behind it, and I think that's what fuels us too. She's so inspirational. It just brightens everything. Like, she makes it clear that we can do this.
The Vikings went down to Daytona looking to win back-to-back national championships. Before they got on the mat for prelims, they got some words of encouragement from a member of last year's national championship team.
I showed half of Ireland your practice run-through video, and they were super impressed. Even for knowing nothing about cheer, they thought you were D1 athletes because you were so clean. They're sending all their Irish luck, but know that you won't need it, as you all have the best talent to, in all caps, bring that banner home. When you step on the nationals mat, take a deep breath and look around at your teammates, because while you may be out there giving it your best shot for your family, to prove to the people who said cheerleading wasn't a sport wrong, or those who told you that you'd never get to nationals, it's important to give your all for every other person in that orange and purple uniform, because they are the only other people that when you look back on this experience in years to come will truly understand that same feeling of accomplishment, that you can share your pain, stories, and laughter with your Viking family. You are all incredible cheerleaders and once-in-a-lifetime individuals. I miss you all every single day and have to thank you for making last year the best of my life. The best year of my life. For those of you I haven't met, I know you're awesome because you were handpicked by Coach to be on this team and made it this far. Congratulations, let's go Vikings, get that banner. Oh, get that icing on the cake, that banner on the gym wall, and show Daytona what Burns Gym is made of. Rep C.
They started off strong in prelims, finishing first and setting the new school record with a score of 90.20.
my letter like I did last year to talk to you guys before we went on. And let's be honest, I could not find words of inspiration because you guys do not need any. Okay, this team is stronger than I've ever seen before. And I do not mean the skills, I mean the will. Okay, you guys got willpower behind you. Okay, God has given us this team. We don't handpick our own team. We don't pick our own family. God gives it to us. All right. So I'm tired of us looking down on ourselves that we don't have skills. God's choosing to give you these skills and you've worked hard for them, so act like it. You guys are better than you guys choose to think you are. You guys are better than that, okay? Stop doubting yourselves, because I have supreme faith in all of you that are going to hit your skills, okay? So as soon as you guys start worrying about yourselves, you guys got it. You guys will fly high, okay? Doubts do not fly.
The placing that you got today does not reflect on who you are or the team you've become.
The Vikings had a rough day in the finals and were unable to bring back another national title. Even though they lost, they still came back from Daytona the same way they went down. One big family that would do anything for each other.
Bubba, do, Bubba. Do, Bubba. I can't hear you! Red Sea!
1, 2, 3, Red Sea!
If you watch this, you're probably gonna get mad at me.
James the lead.
Yes?
You feel proud about it?
background on my phone. Okay.
I don't want to say them on your camera. There are a lot of bad words.
How long have you been cheering?
Like in here?
No, just in general.
Junior, senior, 4 years. Wait, is that the question? Are you interviewing me right now?
Yeah.
Oh, I've been cheering 4 years. Like my full-ups, he taught me to use my hips. I know Coach told me that a million times, but I did it and it was consistent. And he taught us some really cool pyramids that we could use that aren't really hard, but they look hard. Or maybe it's the other way around. I don't know. But don't put that part in there.
So you listen to him more than your own coach?
No!
That's not what you said, though.
It was what I said. Don't put that in there.
This is going to be the longest 20 minutes of your life. Because all you're going to see is me doing like this. And
if you work hard, you... Wait. What was the question again? We need to stay humble, so we continue to work hard to win another one. That good? Okay. Do you have to cut all this out?
Might be blooper at the end, but
Blooper, is that good?